Once upon a time, in a certain town, there lived a young woman named Besida. She was very beautiful, with skin as smooth as fresh palm oil and eyes that shone like the evening stars. But it was not only her beauty that made people love her. Bessie had a kind heart. She greeted everyone with a warm smile, helped the elderly carry their baskets, and spoke softly to children. Whenever Bessie walked through the village, men would stop to admire her. Many wanted to marry her, but she was careful in choosing the right person. Her best friend, Amajuma, was always by her side. Bessie trusted Juma with all her heart. She told her everything, including the names of the men who wanted to marry her. But unknown to Bessie, Juma was jealous. She wished she had Bessie's beauty, kindness, and the attention that Bessie received from men. Each time Bessie told her about a new suitor, Juma would say, "My dear friend, you are too young for marriage. Send them away until you are truly ready." Because Bessie believed that Juma wanted the best for her, she listened. She sent every man away, not knowing that Juma would secretly go to those men later. She would beg them to love her instead, but the men always refused, saying, "We want Bessie, not you." As time went on, more men kept coming to ask for Bessie's hand in marriage, and this made Juma angrier. She could no longer bear it. Then she thought of a plan. Bessie's birthday was coming, and Juma decided to give her a special gift. On the day of the celebration, Juma brought different gifts: beautiful wrappers, a pair of earrings, and a small can of scented powder. "This powder smells so nice," Bessie said as she opened it. She rubbed a little on her face and neck. The sweet scent filled the air. "Thank you, Juma. I love it." From that day, Bessie used the powder every morning before going out. But something strange started happening. When she walked past people, they did not seem to notice her. She would greet them, but they would not answer. Even men who used to admire her now walked past her as if she was not there. At first, she thought they were busy, but as days turned into weeks, she realized something was wrong. People no longer smiled at her, and no one asked for her hand in marriage anymore. One evening, Bessie sat with Juma and sighed. "Juma, do you think something is wrong with me? People don't notice me anymore. It feels like I'm invisible." Juma touched Bessie's hand and smiled. "Oh, my dear friend, what are you saying? You are still the most beautiful girl in this town. Maybe people are just getting used to you." Bessie nodded slowly, but deep inside, she felt something was not right. She knew something was wrong. She could not understand why people no longer noticed her. It was as if she had become invisible. But she tried to believe her friend. But Juma made sure that Bessie never ran out of the special powder. Before it finished, Juma would always bring another one before the old one would finish. One day, Bessie's younger sister, Ejiro, came to visit. They were preparing to go out together when Bessie brought out the powder. She rubbed it on her face as usual. Then she turned to her sister and said, "Ejiro, try this powder. It smells really nice." But before Ejiro could take it, she gasped and jumped back as if she had seen a ghost. "Bessie," she cried. "What happened to your face?" Bessie frowned. "What do you mean?" Ejiro's eyes were wide with shock. "Your face. It looks so old. You have wrinkles everywhere." Bessie laughed. "That's not possible," she said, touching her cheeks. Her skin felt as smooth as ever. "Maybe you are joking with me." But Ejiro shook her head. "I am serious. Look at yourself." Bessie still did not believe her. So, Ejiro grabbed the powder and rubbed some on her own face. The moment she looked at Bessie again, she screamed, "No, this can't be." Bessie's heart pounded. "What is it?" she asked. Ejiro pointed at her own face. "Look at me." Am I also looking old now? Basie stared at her sister and gasped. Ejiro's face, which had been fresh and smooth a moment ago, was now full of deep wrinkles. She looked like an old woman. Ejiro! Basie cried. This is not normal. The sisters rushed to the water pot and washed their faces quickly. Within moments, their skin became normal again. Basie held the powder in her shaking hands. What kind of powder is this? She whispered. She turned to Ejiro, her heart racing. Who gave you this powder? Ejiro asked. Basie looked down, her hands tightening around the powder can. Juma, she said slowly. Ejiro's eyes darkened. Then we must find out the truth. Basie felt a heavy weight in her heart. How could Juma, her best friend, be the one behind her troubles? It was hard to believe, but the truth was clear. The powder was the reason people had stopped noticing her beauty. Determined to face her friend, Basie and her sister Ejiro went to Juma's house. When Juma saw Basie, her eyes widened in surprise. Her face looked normal again. Juma quickly hid her shock and forced a smile. Basie, my dear friend, you look wonderful today. What brings you here? Basie exchanged a quick glance with her sister before replying. I just wanted to greet you. You with my sister. You always take care of me so well, and I appreciate it. Juma's heart pounded. Did she stop using the powder? Had she found out? She needed to act fast. She rushed inside and came out holding another can of the same powder. She stretched it towards Basie with a big smile. I went to the market and bought your favorite powder. I know you love it so much, so I got another one for you. Basie took the powder, forcing herself to smile as if nothing was wrong. Oh, Juma, you are too kind. Thank you so much for thinking of me. It was confirmed. Juma had been giving her the powder on purpose, but Basie did not let her suspicion show. She left with her sister, while Juma stood at the door, feeling confused. From that day, Basie never used the powder again. Slowly, things returned to normal. When she walked through the town, people greeted her again. Some even asked, Basie, did you travel? We haven't seen you for some time. She only smiled and nodded, but deep inside, her heart was filled with pain. The one person she trusted the most had tried to ruin her life. But why? What did Juma really want? As days passed, everything returned to normal for Basie. People greeted her warmly again, and men who had once admired her started showing interest in her once more. Some stopped her on the road to compliment her beauty, while others boldly expressed their desire to court her. Each time this happened, Basie made sure to tell Juma, but this time she was doing it on purpose. She wanted to see if Juma would finally confess to what she had done. One afternoon, Basie and Juma went shopping at a supermarket. As they were picking some items, a well-dressed man stepped forward and called out, "Excuse me, beautiful lady." Before Basie could respond, Juma quickly turned with a big smile, ready to answer him. But the man shook his head. "No, it's you," he said politely, looking straight at Basie. "I was calling her." Juma's face turned dark with anger. She clenched her fists and suddenly shouted, "Basie, stop using your charms on men. Undo whatever you have done." The entire supermarket fell silent. People turned to stare at them in shock. The man looked confused. "What are you talking about?" he asked. Juma pointed at Basie and said in a loud voice, "She visited a native doctor and got a charm to attract men. She is using it on all of you. Please, sir, don't fall for her tricks. She will ruin your life." Gasps filled the air as people whispered among themselves. Basie's heart pounded. She couldn't believe what she was hearing. The rich man stepped back and looked at her with questioning eyes. Is this true? Tears welled up in Basie's eyes. She shook her head. No, it's not true, she said firmly. I have never done such a thing. But the damage was already done. People were staring at her as if she was some kind of witch. The embarrassment was too much to bear. She couldn't take it anymore. She turned and ran out of the supermarket, tears streaming down her face. As she got home, she locked herself inside, sobbing. How could Juma lie against her like this? How could her own best friend betray her in such a terrible way? The feeling was painful. She called her sister, Ejiro, and told her everything that happened at the supermarket, how Juma embarrassed her in front of strangers, lied against her, and accused her of using charms. Ejiro's eyes flared with anger. I warned you, Basie. You should have told her you knew about the evil powder. Why keep quiet for so long? But Basie shook her head sadly. I wanted her to confess on her own. I wanted to give her a chance to do the right thing. Ejiro sighed. You have a good heart, but sometimes people take advantage of kindness. It's time to cut her off completely. Basie listened to her sister's advice and agreed to end her friendship with Juma. But before walking away completely, she decided to return the evil powder and let Juma know that she was fully aware of her wickedness. The next day, Basie went to Juma's house. The moment Juma saw her, she rushed forward with a fake smile. Basie, I'm so sorry for what happened at the supermarket. I didn't mean to embarrass you. Please forgive me. Basie said nothing. Instead, she reached into her bag, pulled out the can of powder, and without warning, she threw it all over Juma's face. The moment the powder touched her skin, Juma let out a loud scream. Ah, my face is burning! She fell to the ground, rolling and crying in pain. As she cried, she began confessing. I did it! I did everything! I went to a juju man to get this powder to make you unattractive so that no man would want you. I was jealous of you, Basie. Basie and the neighbors who had gathered watched in shock, but Juma wasn't done. The juju man warned me that if you ever found out the truth, the powder would backfire on me. Now my face is ruined. She ran inside her house and grabbed a mirror. The moment she saw her reflection, she wailed in horror. Her once smooth face was now badly burned with a deep scar running across it. She touched her face and sobbed uncontrollably. I have destroyed myself with my own jealousy, she wept. Basie watched her with pity, but said nothing. She simply turned and walked away, leaving Juma to face the consequences of her own actions. There are lessons to be learned in this story. Firstly, jealousy can destroy even the strongest friendships if you allow it. Secondly, what you plan for others may come back to haunt you just like it happened to Juma. Also, always be happy with what you have instead of envying others. You are special the way you are. Lastly, evil deeds never go unpunished.